Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the game where we aim for the obscure and ignore the obvious. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
I'm Rhiannon, and this is my husband, David, and we're from Reading.
Couple number two.
I'm Pat, this is my good friend Elaine, and we're from the village of Church Aston in Shropshire.
Couple number three.
I'm Judith, this is Nicola, my work colleague from Durham.
And finally, couple number four.
My name's Ian, this is my father, Alan, and we're from Maidstone in Kent.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce, a man who has earned my respect by managing to play Pac-Man on that laptop for 260 episodes without anyone noticing. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Hiya. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are
to
you?
I'm very well.
Looking very dapper. I think you've had a haircut.
I have had it. That's exactly what I've had a haircut.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Now, a very rare thing happened last time, which is we didn't give away the jackpot. We've been giving it away endlessly recently, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think 5 times in 7 shows or something, but yesterday, no such luck. We've only got one returning pair from that show, David and Rhiannon. Got knocked out in the first round on Elements. But I think they're smart, David and Rhiannon.
Oh, they're smart.
So I think there's a lot more in the tank. I think we gave them a bad category. And the other 3 pairs, you know, who knows?
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Thanks so much. Now, every question has been asked to 100 people before the show. Today's contestants are, of course, looking for a pointless answer, one of those answers that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Well, as you'll have gathered, Alex and Jess didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, the pair with the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, and also remember there is to be no conferring during the round itself. Our first category today is cinema. Cinema. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns real film roles. Real film roles, Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you the names of 7 actors and the year in which they played a real person on film. We just need you to tell us the real person they played, please. There's going to be 14 in all to kick off the show with. Very, very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So, we are looking for the real people played on film by these actors in the years shown. And here's our first board. Paul Schofield, 1966. Tom Hulce, 1984. Ingrid Bergman, 1948. Colin Firth, 2010. Ben Kingsley, 1982. Philip Seymour Hoffman, 2005. And Daniel Day-Lewis, 2012. I'll read those all again. Paul Schofield, 1966. Tom Hulce, 1984. Ingrid Bergman, 1948. Colin Firth, 2010. Ben Kingsley, 1982. Philip Seymour Hoffman, 2005. Daniel Day-Lewis, 2012. OK, now Rhiannon and David, you all drew lots before the show, and today you're going to go first. You're back on the first podium, Rhiannon. Oh dear, you're not looking happy.
No.
Can I help you at all? I mean, obviously I can't give you any answers, but
David's amazing at films, and this is why I've gone first. But a lot of them, I can. Yeah, that's not good. So, I'm gonna say Colin Firth. I know he played. Was it King Edward?
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
King Edward. King Edward. Well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said King Edward for Colin Firth. Oh, bad luck, Rhiannon. I'm sorry. I'm afraid not King Edward. That scores you the maximum of 100 points. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Rhiannon. I'll give the correct answer at the end of the pass. I think King Edward, weirdly, was played by Maris Piper.
Yes.
That's odd, isn't it?
That is weird. Dame Maris Piper.
Dame Maris Piper now, yeah.
Yeah, she played him beautifully.
Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed. Elaine, welcome to Pointless. It's lovely to have you here. What do you do, Elaine?
I'm retired, a retired teacher.
A retired teacher. And what do you do with your time?
I sail in the summer.
Very good. Whereabouts do you go sailing?
Well, I used to sail in Wales, round Anglesey.
Lovely.
But now we're going to be sailing round Scotland.
Why? Why up?
The boat has moved.
Oh, the boat has moved, I see. No, your choice of holiday.
Yes.
Wales no longer quite cutting it for you.
Well, we've done that now.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, sailing around Scotland. Beautiful. And you do that over the summer?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And at sea, presumably no midges?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best of all worlds. Now, Elaine, what do you make of this board of actors?
Yes, I know a few, actually. So I'm going to choose the top one, Paul Schofield, Sir Thomas More.
Sir Thomas More. Sir Thomas More, says Elaine. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Sir Thomas More. Absolutely right, Elaine. I think this will be a nice low score for you. Look at that, 6. Very well done indeed. That's a great answer, Elaine.
Well played, Elaine. That's a nice start to your pointless career there. Yeah, you won the Best Actor Oscar for the role, and the film won Best Film as well, Best Picture.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Judith, welcome. Welcome to Pointless. It's great to have you here from Durham.
Yes.
Perfect. How nice to have some people from Durham on the show. What do you do up there?
I'm a programme manager for Durham University Business School.
So what kind of programmes are you looking after?
It's master's programmes in
Right.
things like management, economics, marketing, finance.
You're sort of trying to get people in, or once they're in,
No,
you're working out?
once they're in,
Right.
we look after them, yes.
OK. And what do you like getting up to in your spare time, Judith?
I'm one of these annoying people with a caravan. You know, bank holidays, when the roads are jammed, that's me. Well, not pulling the caravan, but that's me in the caravan, yeah.
I will always picture you in that caravan. Now, it'll make it much better.
Yes, yeah.
Good stuff. Now then, Judith, what about these actors and the parts they've played?
Ooh, I think I know 2, but one I'm really not sure. So, and one's the really obvious one. So I think rather than getting 100, I'll just go for Ben Kingsley and Gandhi.
Ben Kingsley and Gandhi, says Judith. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Gandhi. "48. Not bad at all.
Yes, it could have scored a lot more, couldn't it? Another Oscar-winning film and another Oscar-winning performance from Ben Kingsley.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Now then, Ian, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Now, Ian and Alan, father and son.
Yes.
Alan, just for fun, just take your glasses off. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is just
Twins, couldn't we?
You could be twins. That is just, Alan, very well done. I have to say, your DNA is almost replicated in Ian there. That is extraordinary. What an achievement. Anyway, listen, Ian, welcome to the show. What do you do, Ian?
I'm a sales director for a beauty products company.
That's quite fun.
It is.
Does that involve travelling around a lot?
It travels an awful lot, yeah, the whole of the UK and Ireland, and I just sort of travel around the whole country.
But, I mean, of all the products, beauty products, that's very glamorous.
It's not that glamorous. It's more the hair removal side of beauty.
OK,
so.
well, it could be water removal. I mean, it really could be.
be.
It could be a lot worse. It could be, yeah. You could be selling foot scrubs.
True.
So then, what are you going to go for? You're the last person to have this board. If you fancied it, you could talk us through it.
I would love to talk you through it. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm hoping. I know Daniel Day-Lewis was a president, and I'm fairly sure it was Lincoln. So that's what I'm going with.
You're going to say Lincoln. Do you want to give us a Christian name?
Abraham?
Abraham Lincoln,
That'd
says
be him.
Ian.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Abraham Lincoln. It's right. 26, not bad at all, Ian. Nice, middling score.
Well played, Ian. Another role there that won the Best Actor Oscar. Now, let's take a look through the rest of these. Colin Firth didn't play King Edward. He did play a king, of course. He played...
George VI.
George VI, yeah. In The King's Speech, would have scored you 18 points. Do you know Tom Hulse?
Yeah, Mozart.
Absolutely right. In Amadeus, would have scored you 4. Ingrid Bergman is Joan of Arc.
Oh, St. Joan.
Good scorer, though, 2 points. And Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Truman Capote.
Truman Capote, yeah, would have scored 5 points. So Joan of Arc, the best answer up there. Very well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 6, very well done, Elaine. What a great score there. That puts you well ahead of the game. Takes a bit of pressure off you, Pat. Then we travel up to 26, where we find Ian and Alan, 48, Judith and Nicola, and then up to 100, I'm sorry, Rhiannon and David. David, you're good on film, though. We heard it from Rhiannon. We heard it from Rhiannon. So, yeah, we need a really low score from you, and let's hope that will keep you in the game. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more actors up on the board, and here they are. We've got Elizabeth Taylor, 1963, George C. Scott, 1970, Nigel Hawthorne, 1994, Sean Penn, 2008, Forrest Whitaker, 2006, Meryl Streep, 2011, and Colin Farrell, 2004. I'll read those all one last time. Elizabeth Taylor, 1963, George C. Scott, 1970, Nigel Hawthorne, 1994, Sean Penn, 2008, Forrest Whitaker, 2006, Meryl Streep, 2011, and Colin Farrell, 2004. So remember, we're looking for the real people played by these actors in the years shown. And Alan, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. Alan, great to have you here.
Thank you.
What do you get up to, Alan?
Not a lot, because I'm retired now, but spend a lot of time walking around the country lanes and around the fields with my dog.
What sort of dog have you got?
I've got a crossbreed. He's crossed between a Rottweiler and German Shepherd.
Oh.
And he was a feral originally.
Oh, really? Where did you find him?
I found him when we lived in Spain. I fed them for about 6 or 8 weeks, these feral dogs, and walked back to the car one day. He followed me.
Wow, so he found you, really?
And he found me.
He found you. What's he called?
Duke.
You have to call it Duke. It was either Tyson, Duke, Prince, Buster, I'm guessing.
I knew that Alan would have lived in Spain for a little bit. Did he have to? just a few years out, yeah? Yeah.
Alan, what are you going to go for? You're on 26. You have to score 73 or less.
I think I'll go for George C. Scott. He played General Patton.
General Patton, you're saying, for George C. Scott. General Patton, let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. There's your red line. Below that, you're in round 2. It's right, and you're through. Very well done, Alan. 17. 17 takes your total up to 43. Well done. Through you go.
Well played, Alan. Yeah, plays General George Patton, another Oscar-winning performance as well. Surprisingly high, so I thought that would have scored. I think I might have gone for that one. I thought we would score a little bit lower.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard. Nicola, welcome to the show. Now, you work in the same office as Judith.
Yes. Well, I'm in a different location, but part of the same team.
Part of the same team. And what do you deal with?
The same, the programmes.
It's exactly the same as the programmes.
Exactly the same.
And what do you get up to, Nicola?
I do baking from time to time. Yeah,
do you?
Cakes. And I've taken a fancy to doing up furniture as well. So I'm filling the house up with old furniture.
Excellent. Well, you get old furniture and sort of recondition it, do you?
Yeah, just paint it up and rub it back. And
very satisfying. OK, well, listen, there you are on 48. The high score is still David and Rhiannon on 100, so 51 or less sees you through. How do we feel about this board?
I think I'll go with Meryl Streep simply because it's 2011, it's more recent. I'm no good with anything beyond. I know it's going to be wrong, so I'm going to go with the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher.
You're going to say Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
You know that's going to be wrong?
Yes.
There's your red line.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's right. Maybe it is. And if it is, maybe it'll get you below that red line. How many people said Margaret Thatcher? Very much right, Nicola. That's a good answer. And you're in round 2. Very well done, Nicola. Look at that, 43. 91 is your total.
Yeah, well played, Nicola. Absolutely, Margaret Thatcher.
So, Pat, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. What do you get up to, Pat?
What do I do?
What do you do, yes?
I am a guide at the stately home of Weston Park.
How long have you done that for?
14 years.
Wow, you know every story about
do.
Weston Park.
Everything.
Now, when you're doing it, do you take parties round then?
Yes.
When you're doing it, do you vary a little bit? Do you sort of decide which things you tell, or do you move pretty much to a script?
No, I tend to stick to my own script.
Are they well behaved?
It's fresh for everybody.
That's true. Are they generally well behaved, your bunch, when they come round?
You wouldn't come to a stately home unless you were interested.
Quite so, Pat. Quite so. Good stuff. OK, now what are you going to do with this board?
Right. Yes, I know. Definitely 2, possibly 3. But I'm not going to risk it by going for the possible. So I'm going to go for Nigel Hawthorne, who played King George III.
George III, says Pat. Nigel Hawthorne. Here's your red line, nice and high. If you get below that with George III, you're into round 2. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many people said it. There you are, well done. 14. 14 takes your total up to 20. Lovely low total there, Pat. Very well done, Pat and Elaine there on the second podium.
Well played, Pat. Very good answer. Yeah, famously, it was originally called The Madness of George III, wasn't it? They changed it to The Madness of King George because they thought Americans would think it was a sequel.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I'm not sure if that's true, but it's funny if it is.
I bet you any money that's
Again,
true.
well, I didn't see The Madness of George II, so I'm not going to go see this.
Alan Bennett missed a trick there. He should have just written 2 prequels to it, and then he's got a franchise there.
Yeah, he should have done, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Madness of Richard IV.
There you go, exactly. Anyway, thanks very much indeed. Now, listen, David, this, I don't like this any more than you do. You're our high score. This isn't right. You were meant to be with us for the whole show.
I know. Never mind.
I do mind. I thought you were going to.
Well,
I thought you were going to go through.
You can get us on. We'll disguise us for the next show, and
we could put a moustache on you, maybe, and yeah, maybe
what
we'd do
about
that. We could. Well, listen. I tell you what, David, your little gift to the rest of the teams here is to take us through the board and maybe see if you can find maybe there's a pointless answer on there that you can.
Elizabeth Taylor would probably say was Jane Austen. Sean Penn, I think the film is Milk, but I don't know. Forrest Whitaker, Last King of Scotland, but I wouldn't know who the name. And I don't know Colin Farrell. I'd say Jane Austen for Elizabeth Taylor, I think.
OK, Jane Austen, says David, for Elizabeth Taylor. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Jane Austen. No, bad luck, David, I'm sorry. Another 100 there takes your total up to 200.
Sorry, David, Cleopatra was the Liz Taylor answer. Would have scored you 39 points. You're right about these next 2 films. It was Milk. He played Harvey Milk in that, Sean Penn. That would have scored you 6. And you're right that it's The Last King of Scotland, and Forrest Whitaker plays Idi Amin in that film, 13 points. And Colin Farrell at the bottom there, and Oliver Stone's film, he played Alexander the Great. Yeah. 2 points. That's the best answer on the board. I didn't know he played you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
He was, I mean, we auditioned lots of people, actually.
Yeah. And did he do a lot of method acting? Would he get into the role?
To be honest, not as much as I was hoping.
Really? Who was next choice after him?
Well, Ross Kemp was quite a close.
I'll tell you who'd be a very good you.
Yeah, go on.
Dame Judi Dench.
I think she would,
wouldn't
actually.
she? Yeah. Oh, I must watch the film anyway.
It's good. It is good. It is good. Yeah, I mean, don't believe all the stories in it. They've taken a bit of license with the script there.
Yeah. They've had to tone it down a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Certainly. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So, I'm afraid at the end of our first round, the pair who are heading home with their high score of 200, it's David and Rhiannon. I'm so sorry. If there was anything we could do to keep you here. It's always tough on that first podium as well. But anyway, it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming and playing. David and Rhiannon, great contestants. But for the remaining 3, it's now time for round 2. OK, and 3 pairs remain. Obviously, at the end of this round, we'll be saying goodbye to another pair in time for our head-to-head round. Pat and Elaine. Oh, gold star for you. Fantastic performance there. 2 of our best low scorers and the lowest scoring team as well. But not a bad performance all round, though. We're all looking pretty strong. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is US politics. Not popular on podium 2 there. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many presidents whose surnames contain at least one of the letters U, S or A. Presidents whose surnames contain at least one of the letters U, S or A. Richard.
Yeah, simply looking for any US president whose surname contains one of those letters. We're going to need first name and surname, please, in your answers. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Elaine. I know how terrifying it is when, suddenly, particularly when you're the first person to be asked in a round.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. That sounds a good name. That's a good name. They should use that. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Barack Obama. It's right. It's high, though, 84, but sensible thing to do. If all else fails, it's a lot better than 100. 84.
Yeah, Barack Obama. He's a 44th president. You'll remember him.
I will remember him, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You can bench press 200 pounds.
I bet he can.
Yeah,
I
can.
bet he can.
What are you benching at the moment?
101. Yeah. I'm pressing that.
Yeah, he's president, though.
Yeah, he's president. Fine. He's probably got people to help him.
Exactly.
I'd imagine.
He's got people lifting up with
either
him.
side of him.
Yeah, he's not doing much.
No.
He's going, yeah, and they're lifting. They're going, that's very good, Mr.
He
President.
no, doesn't use his arms. He just goes, "Urgh," and they do the lifting.
They go, that's terrific work, Mr. President. Oh, that's 200 pounds you're benching.
Nicola, what are you going to go for?
Well, I was going to go with what they said, the obvious one. But I think I'll go with Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, says Nicola. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said that. It's right. 43. There we are. 43.
I have to say, there are certain episodes of Pointless, certain teams where we'd have got Pointless across the board in this round, I think. It's one of those rounds where some people really know the proper obscure ones.
Well, it's one of those things like the periodic table, isn't it, that people will actually tend to learn.
Exactly. People at home will be shouting out obscure US presidents as we speak.
Indeed.
Annoying their partners. So stop it.
Yeah.
Unless you're both doing it, in which case that's fine. You've obviously found the right person.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Alan. Alan looks like he's got a good answer.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. 43 is our lowest score. You passed that. 36 for Jimmy Carter. 36.
Well, we're very, very slowly going back in time, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're still only as far back as 1976. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores. They've gone down as we've gone down the line. So, Alan, well done. 36, the lowest score of that pass. Then up to 43, where we find Nicola and Judith. And then 84, Elaine and Pat. So, Pat, who knows? We might have some more high scoring in the next pass. But if we have a low score from you, that might be enough to see you through. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Ian, we are looking for US presidents whose surnames contain the letters U, S or A. There you are on 36. Great play from Alan. In the first pass there, the high scorers, Pat and Elaine on 84, so 47 or less.
OK, I think I'm going to take you a little bit further back again.
This is good.
I'm going to go with Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, says Ian. Benjamin Franklin. There's your red line. If you get below that red line, you are through to the next round, into the head-to-head. Let's see if Benjamin Franklin can get you down there. Oh. Unfortunately, an incorrect answer, Ian. That's unexpected.
That was.
Yeah. An incorrect answer scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to 136.
Yeah, he's got an A in his name, I'll give him that. But he wasn't president, Benjamin Franklin. Never president.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, Judith. Judith, listen. That makes things a little bit easier. That eases the pressure somewhat. 136 now, the high score, Ian and Alan. You want 92 or less.
Yeah, most of my answers went. Nicola took my best answer, I thought. So the other one I've got is George W. Bush.
George W. Bush, says Judith. There's your red line. If you get below that with George W. Bush, you're through to the head-to-head. Let's see if it's right. It is, of course, right. And through you go. 21. 21 takes your total up to 64. 21. He's got 2 of the letters in there.
That's a surprisingly low score, isn't it?
Yeah, that's flagrant.
I think your immediate thought is to go for ones with long names, maybe. But that's
very low. Below Jimmy Carter.
Just below Jimmy Carter.
Now then, Pat. Pat.
Yes.
Well, a little bit of pressure off you as well, which is a welcome relief, I should think. There they are, Ian and Alan. Still the high scorers on 136, so 51 or less sees you through. You've had a little bit of time now. Mm-hmm. What are you going to go for?
I am going to go for the second president, John Adams.
John Adams, very well done. OK, well, there's your red line. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how far down the column you go. John Adams. You're in the head-to-head. Very well done. Good answer. 3, Pat. Takes your total up to 87. Back in the game.
That's the kind of answer we were looking for all along, Pat. Yeah, very well done. The first president to win a contested election, first president to live in the White House, the only one of the first 5 presidents not to be a slaveholder as well. John
There you are.
Adams.
Good for him.
But there's quite a few pointless answers, and I know people at home would have got some of these, so let's take a look at them. Andrew Johnson, Benjamin Harrison, Chester A. Arthur, all of those pointless. James Buchanan, Martin Van Buren, Rutherford B. Hayes, William Henry Harrison and Zachary Taylor. You would have got low scores as well for James Madison, William Taft, John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson all would have scored you 1. Warren G. Harding, Grover Cleveland, James A. Garfield would have scored you 2. So there's lots of low answers out there. Let's take a look at the top 3. George Washington on 40, Ronald Reagan 43, and Obama right at the top with 84.
See, these are the things we should all be learning. These are our future Vanuatus and Central African republics, aren't they?
Well, there's some, like, I think that Martin Van Buren, Rutherford B. Hayes, people like they're always low scorers on president's rounds.
Yeah.
Millard Fillmore,
Who
he's
could forget
always
him?
a low scorer, but sadly his surname doesn't fit the criteria here.
There we are. Well, thanks very much indeed. At the end of our second round, I'm afraid the people leaving us, it's Ian and Alan, our father-son team on the far podium there. High score of 136. I thought that was a correct answer. You see, it just goes to show how little I know. Benjamin Franklin. Well, you took one for the team there, Ian. You took one, and I will never forget that now, that he was not actually a president. But we will look forward to seeing you again both next time. Thanks very much for playing, Ian and Alan.
Thank you. Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Pat and Elaine, Judith and Nicola. You are 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. Now, we have to decide who's going to play for that money in the final, and to do that, you're now going to go head-to-head. The big difference is you're now allowed to confer. And the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. I tell you what's great about this, an all-female head-to-head. We haven't had one of those for ages. So very well done indeed. You've seen off our returning pair. Straight through, Pat and Elaine, very well done. John Adams, our best answer so far. So that really was very good. Elaine, phew. Phew, it's all, I know that feeling very well. Even when Richard's asking me, I get that brain freeze. But you can confer now, and just being able to chat before you give your answer, I think, makes a world of difference. So best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns architectural styles. Architectural styles. Harry's dad.
We're going to show you 5 images now of different architectural styles. We're also going to give you the first letter of what that style is. Can you give us the most obscure of these? Good luck.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our 5 architectural styles, and here they are. A. B. C. D. And E. OK, there we are. 5 architectural styles. Pat and Elaine, you will go first, as you played best throughout the show so far.
I don't know D.
I think it's Bauhaus.
Bauhaus.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is.
I'm going to go for that.
Are you?
Yeah.
OK, Pat and Elaine. What are you going to go for?
Well, we know all 5. And, yes, I think so.
Elaine thinks you know 4. You're a little bit scared, are you?
And we're going to go for D.
Yes.
Which is Bauhaus.
D. Bauhaus, say Pat and Elaine. Bauhaus. Right, Judith and Nicola. Do you want to talk us through the rest of the board?
If only.
The 2 we know.
Yeah, we know A and E. We think A is Art Nouveau and E is Art Deco. So we're going to go with Art Deco.
Art Deco E. OK, Pat and Elaine have said that D is Bauhaus. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Bauhaus. It's right. Very well done, Pat. 13. Good answer. 13 for Bauhaus. Meanwhile, Judith and Nicola have said that E is Art Deco. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Art Deco. It's right. 52. Very well done. Pat and Elaine, well done for having the courage of your convictions. That won you that point. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the lowest scorer on the board, though, so I'm sure you know B.
Palladium.
Palladium, exactly. That would have scored you 9 points. So that's the best answer up there. Art Nouveau is would have been a slightly better scorer than Art Deco, but still wouldn't have won you the point. Would have got you 42. And the middle one, of course, is Gothic. And that's a big score, 72 points for that.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, here comes your second question. Judith and Nicola, you'll get to answer this one first, but you have to win it to stay in the game, so best of luck. It concerns the coronation. The coronation. Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 clues now to questions about the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Can you give us the most obscure answer?
OK, thanks, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they come. We have got the name of the Archbishop of Canterbury who crowned the Queen, the year the coronation took place, the only child of the Queen who attended the ceremony, UK Prime Minister at the time of the coronation, and the Golden Globe held by the Queen as a symbol of royal authority. I'll read those one last time. The name of the Archbishop of Canterbury who crowned the Queen, the year the coronation took place, the only child of the Queen who attended the ceremony, the UK Prime Minister at the time of the coronation, and the Golden Globe held by the Queen as a symbol of royal authority. Judith and Nicola, you will go first this time.
The coronation. 1952, was it? Jubilee. Yeah. Not our strong subject yet again. We're going to go for the year the coronation took place in 1952.
1952, say Judith and Nicola. OK, Pat and Elaine, do you want to talk us through as much of that board as you can?
I think it's Archbishop Runcie.
No.
Isn't it?
No.
I thought it was Runcie, but Pat says it isn't.
The year is 53.
53. The child is Prince Charles.
Prince Charles. UK Prime Minister, I think, was Winston Churchill.
And it's the orb.
The orb.
Orb.
Yes.
Which would you like to go for?
The orb. Should we go for the orb?
Yeah.
We'll go for the
OK.
orb.
Orb.
The orb, say Pat and Elaine. So Judith and Nicola have said 1952. Pat and Elaine have gone for the orb, the sovereign's orb. OK, let's see. 1952. Should we see if Pat and Elaine were right about that? Fingers crossed, but let's find out if it's correct. No, bad luck. It was 1953, which means, Pat and Elaine, if you are correct with your answer, you will go through to the final. Let's find out. Is it the orb, the Golden Globe that the Queen held? Absolutely right. 28. 28, which means, very well done, Pat and Elaine. After only 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Pat and Elaine were like assassins there, weren't they? That was brutal.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at all of these answers. You knew most of them. The top one, though, the name of the Archbishop of Canterbury was Geoffrey Fisher.
Oh, right.
Would have scored you 3 points. Best answer up there. The year the coronation took place, it was 1953. Scores 50 points. The only child of the Queen was Prince Charles. He was 4.5 at the time. 79 points. Anne was alive, but she was 3-ish, and I think they thought she was too young. And the UK Prime Minister was Winston Churchill in his second term, and that would have scored you 26.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So I'm afraid the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round is Judith and Nicola. As Richard said, that was a stealth raid from Pat and Elaine. They meant business there. They were quite tough, though, some of those coronation questions. Yeah. There's good news for us, though. It means we get to see you again. Had you gone straight through to the final, that would have been it. Yes. So we will look forward to seeing you again next time, and I'm sure you'll do even better. But Judith and Nicola, thanks very much for playing. But for Pat and Elaine, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Pat and Elaine. You fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted Pointless trophy. Very well done indeed.
Thank you.
You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,000. Well, I'm sorry it's not our biggest ever jackpot, but it is most certainly one that you deserve to win after your performance today. You've done incredibly well. You've had one little wobble with Barack Obama, and a little bit of moment of doubt with over the Bauhaus, of course. Yes. But no, you stuck with it, and straight through you came, 2-0. So very well done indeed. It's been a fantastic performance. And now, as always, you choose your category for this last round. You know, it's not a very wide choice we give you, but here are your 4 options. They are Moons of the Solar System, Sporting Awards, Goon Films, Cult Novelists.
That is not helpful.
No.
Do you want to do Sporting Awards?
No.
Okay.
Novelists.
Cult novelists? We'll go for cult novelists.
You're going to go for cult novelists. OK, Richard.
Okay, we're looking for any novel published up to August 2013 by any of the following 3 cult novelists, please. Looking for any novel published by Irvine Welsh, any novel published by Douglas Copeland, or any novel published by Kurt Vonnegut. Very, very best of luck.
OK, thanks, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Also, remember, the answers you give can come from any of those categories, and it's entirely up to you how you spread them across the categories. They could all come from Kurt Vonnegut, they could all come from Douglas Copeland, or one from each, completely up to you. Are you ready? Yes. OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Kurt Vonnegut, he's a science fiction
Is
writer.
he?
Yes.
Well,
So-
I don't know any of these.
Oh dear. So I think
You're-
it's going
you're
to
the
be...
reader.
No. Oh, well, I don't know the other 2 at
so
all.
I can't give any answer.
I think we're going to have to make something up.
We will.
Yeah, have to make something up.
Let's go
Kurt
for it.
Vonnegut, something like, I don't know. Kurt Vonnegut, oh gosh,
Douglas, I've never even heard of Douglas Copeland.
No, we're going to have to... I can't
Irvine Welsh I've
think
heard
to
of.
this. What about something to do with the... Right, let's have something like moon landing.
Yes.
Moon landing for Kurt
yes,
Vonnegut.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to go very well. Douglas Copeland.
Nope, don't know anything. I don't even know what genre
Let's
he is.
see, it could be something to do with the Trade Centre, the 2 towers.
Yeah.
Should we make something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
2 towers
We'll say
Irvine
that.
Welsh. Something to do with Rhodesia, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Okay.
OK, that is your time. I could have listened to that chat forever and ever and ever. That's just brilliant. Some great novels coming. You should write some of these up. I was enjoying all of those. So now, what are your 3 answers going to be?
1 from each
OK.
category.
Which one do you want to give me for Irvine Welsh, then?
We're going to go for Zimbabwe the Great.
Zimbabwe the Great. They made a film of that. They've...
That's true, with Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, with Forrest, yeah. So there we are, Zimbabwe the Great. What are we going to go for Douglas Copeland?
Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers. Very good. And your 3rd one, the one we were going to go for Kurt Vonnegut.
Something to do with science fiction, so... I know the name, but I just can't think of anything he's written. I'm going to have to say Moon Landing.
Moon Landing. OK. So we've got Zimbabwe the Great, we've got the Twin Towers, and we've got Moon Landing. So some good history in there as well. Of those 3, anyone you want to nominate as your most likely to be pointless? Or should we just put them in that order? Shall we just put them in that order? OK, let's pop those up on the board in that order, and here they are. Zimbabwe the Great, the Twin Towers, and Moon Landing. Let's just say one of these answers is right and pointless. What would you do with your £2,000? I mean, let's just indulge that for a moment or 2.
I have a desire to go to Canada, so it would go toward a trip to Canada.
Excellent. Elaine?
Well, my husband needs a new engine for his boat.
Oh, I see. I thought, I say a pacemaker, brilliant thing to get. Yeah, good thing to I'm sure the NHS would do that. But A new engine for his boat.
Well, it would have to be a reconditioned one.
Right. OK. Well, that would be money well spent. You get around those Scottish Isles, the summer Isles, all the quicker. OK. Well, very, very best of luck. I mean, who knows? Let's just keep our fingers crossed. There's probably more chance of one of those being right than you have of winning the lottery. So, so there we are. Let's find out. Zimbabwe the Great, an Irvine Welsh novel. Is it right? How many people said it for £2,000? Oh! Unfortunately, not a pointless answer. Not a correct answer, I'm afraid. But your next answer, we were looking for Douglas Copeland novels, and you've gone for The Twin Towers. Let's just see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. One of these days, it is going to happen. Somebody is going to come up with a book that has actually been written by one of these authors. Let's find out. Is it going to be today? Well, if it is today, it's not on the Douglas Copeland category, I'm afraid. Only one more chance to win today's jackpot of £2,000. The moon landing is your last answer, your third and final answer. And in this case, we are looking for Kurt Vonnegut novels. Is it right? Will it win you £2,000? Will it be pointless? No, I'm sorry to say. There was a chance, a tiny little chance, that one of those might have been right, but I'm afraid they weren't. So I'm afraid you didn't manage to win today's jackpot of £2,000. That will roll over onto the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants. You really have. You've done such a brilliant job on the show. Lots to be very proud of there. And you do, of course, get to take home a pointless trophy each. So very well done.
Yeah, sorry, Pat and Elaine, you were an unstoppable force, but you met an immovable object in that jackpot round, I'm afraid. I know you got 3 wrong ones, but the game that was going on in my head was very, very exciting. The jeopardy in mine, because I had 3 answers, and they all scored 1 point.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was gutted. Can you imagine if that had been me standing there? How exciting would that have been? Let's have a look at the pointless answers. All terrific writers. Irvine Welsh has only 1 pointless answer. All of his books scored points, apart from The Bedroom Secrets of the Master Chefs. Very, very well played if you said that. I said Marabou Stalk Nightmares for that. That scored 1. Douglas Copeland, another just terrific writer as well. 5 pointless answers for him. All Families Are Psychotic, Miss Wyoming, Player One, The Gum Thief, and God Hates Japan. I went for Girlfriend in a Coma for that one. That scored 1. And Kurt Vonnegut, the biggest scorer, Slaughterhouse 5. That's his most famous book. Could have had Galapagos, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, The Sirens of Titan, and Timequake. I went for Breakfast of Champions, and that scored 1 point. I've had a nightmare.
You've had a mare. Richard.
I know, but at least I get to take home I don't even get to take home a coveted pointless trophy.
No. You've covered yourself in... No, you haven't.
I haven't even done that.
No, you've,
At least I get to nick this computer that works.
You don't even get to do that. It's glued to the table. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Pat and Elaine, but we really have loved having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Great contestants. Well, very sadly, Pat and Elaine didn't win the jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show, and we will be playing for £3,000. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard. Goodbye. And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.